Back to my channel. So in this video I'm gonna go over the line integral question. Here it says find the line integral on the space curve, and this is the vector function given in the form of x equals to, y equals to, and z equals to, and on the interval 0 to 1 for the surface, and this is the surface given to us, the equation is given to us. So alright, so to find the line integral, so this is the formula. So you're going to take this function g that is given to us. So here, since we are given a curve, this is the curve, and this is a function, a vector function given to us. So this is how we're gonna do it. So you're going to take the surface equation, and then you're going to plug it in. Here it says x, y, and z, right? So you're going to multiply this x, y, and z. So I'm just gonna write f of t, g of t, and h of t. So you're going to multiply these because in a vector function looks like this, right? Vector function is like in the form of f of t, g of t, and h of t, like so, right? And here in this case, it is here the x is t cube over 3, so this is the x component, and then g of t is the y, t squared, and then the h of t is the 2t. If you're unsure how I wrote this, I made a lot of videos on vector functions, so if you guys want, you can check that out. It's listed in the I button, so or in the Calculus 3 playlist if you guys want to check that out. So, alright, so to find a line integral, you're first going to take your g, and then you're going to multiply it with the vector function, but not only the vector function, you're going to take the magnitude of the vector function, derivative of the magnitude of the vector function, right? So this is how you're going to calculate the line integral. Alright, so let's go ahead and do this. So first we are finding the g thing. So g is here, right? The function. So first of all, we're going to take 4x, y, z, the g, and then we're simply going to multiply x, y, and z. So here 4 times, what is the x equation? So x equation is t cube over 3, so t cube over 3, and then times y is t squared, and then times z, which is 2t. Now multiplying all this together, this is 3, okay? Write it clearly. Okay, so now multiplying everything together gives us 8 over 3, and then you guys know we add the exponent, right, when we multiply, so that's 5, 6, so t6. So this is our g. When we plugging the f, g, and h inside this function. Okay, so we have just calculated this thing, which is here. Now we just have to find the derivative of the r. So rd that I wrote over here, it's this one, right? So rd is in the form like x, y, z, right? Or you can say it's in the form of f of t, g of t, and g of t, and h of t, right? And so I simply replace the f of t, g of t, h of t with the function that that were given to us. So x equals 2 over cube, 3 over t cube over 3, t squared, and 2t. Okay, that's what I did over here. I was just re-explaining what I did over here. Okay, so now once we have over t over here, rt over here, next step is to take the derivative of the rt. Okay, so taking the derivative of the rt gives us, okay, so you're going to do it component by component. This is the x component, y component, z component. You first taking the derivative of this, bring the 3 down, right? So bring the t down and subtract 1 from the 3, and then divide it by 3. So these 3 is going to cancel out, so you're only left with t squared. Alright, so next bring the 2 down, subtract 1 from it, so it's t, and then this is only going to be 2, right? Because this is 1, and when you bring the 1 down, that is t to the power of 0, and to the power of 0 it's 1. So this is what we are left with when we take the derivative of the t. So that's r prime of t. R prime. Yeah. Okay, and then next we need to take the magnitude of this. So I hope you guys remember taking the magnitude. If you don't, then let me recall. So what we're going to do, we're simply going to square root each component, right? So here, when we cancel out the 3 and 3, we're only left with t squared, right? Okay, so we're going to square each component. So 2t squared plus 2 squared, and then we're going to square root the whole thing. Okay, so how do we take the magnitude? Squaring each component, add them, and then square root the whole thing. Alright, so what does this give us? So that is going to be t to the power of 4 plus 4t plus 4 and square root of 4. Now, this is what you get. But then here you have to multiply this by this function, and then you're going to find the integral of this. But here you guys see there's a square root here. So taking the square root here and then multiplying this is just gonna complicate things. So let me do something. So you always have to make sure that you factor it out, so you can cancel out the square root, right? Because it's gonna make your life so much easier. So let's try to factor this out. So here, since there is no coefficient over here, so there is a 1 here, right? And this is a 4 here, so you're going to multiply this. So 1 times 4, what does this give us? So it gives us 4, right? So you're just going to multiply these two numbers. That's right. So 1 times 4, this is what you're going to do. If you have any other numbers, you're going to multiply this and this. So here, this case is simply 4 over here. And then the number that you get over here, 4, now you need to find 2 more numbers. So you multiply those 2 numbers and you're going to get 4. And if you add those 2 numbers, and you're going to get 4. Okay, so what are these 2 numbers? So that you multiply them, you get 4, you add them, you get 4. 2 and 2, right? Yeah, 2. Because if you multiply 2, 2, 4. Add 2, 2, 4. Alright, so our 2 numbers are t plus 2 and 2, right? 2 and 2. So you're just going to write it in this form, t plus 2 and t plus 2. So when you're going to multiply this, you're going to achieve this, right? So we just factored it out. Now, this t times 2, so like, for example, if you had x times x, this can also be written as x squared, right? So you're going to do the same thing. This is simply multiplying by itself, so you can also write it in the form of t plus 2 squared. Okay, and now you guys see the square root cancels out with the square. So now you're only left with t plus 2. And this is how it's simplified this r prime of t equation. So this is what you're left with at the end. And this is our second part that we were looking for, right? So let's put it in another color. Pink. So this is the r prime of t magnitude that we were looking for. Okay. And then we need to multiply these 2 now, right? So we have this 8 over 3 t to the power of 6 times this. Okay, so let me do it over here then. Okay, making so much mess over here. Okay, so I'm going to continue the problem over here. So next step is to multiply this times this to find the line integral. So we're finding the line integral here, right? Finding the line integral. First we're going to take this 8 over 3 to the power of t to the power of 6, and then times t plus 2. Okay. Oh wait, I just realized this has to be a squared, t squared. Okay, because when you're if it was only t and t, and if you're multiplying t and t, this this is gonna give you t squared, right? But if you multiply t squared times t squared, then it's gonna give you t to the power of 4. So yeah, this has to be t to the power of squared, right? So when you multiply t squared, this is how you're gonna get t to the power of 4. So yeah, I'm sorry for that. Okay, so now let's fix the other t. So this is t squared, and then we are multiplying with t squared plus 2. Okay, so once we multiply this, so this has to be t to the power of, so this has to be t to the power of 8 plus 16, 3, t to the power of, oh sorry, no t here. Oh wait, my bad. Why am I making so many mistakes here? Okay, t to the power of 6. Okay, so next, what do we have to do? So here the interval was from 0 to 1. Okay, so you're going to take the interval from 0 to 1. Okay, so this is, you're setting up the interval and you're going to differentiate it with respect to t. So I will dt. Okay, so now let's finally integrate it. So 8 over 3, you're going to integrate it, so this, you need to add plus 1 and then divide it by this exponent. So we're going to divide by 9 and then 16 over 3 t to the power of 7 divided by 7 and 1 to 0. Okay, so what does this give us? So this is 8 over 27 and t to the power of 9 plus 1. What is this? Let me write it in the calculator. So this is 16 over 21 t to the power of 7. Okay, and now we can go ahead and plug in 1 and 0. So we're going to plug in 1. So this is simply 1, right? We're going to replace the t with 1. This is t equals to t equals 2, right? I think you guys know it, so I don't need to write it over here. Okay, and then 16 over 21 and times 1, and then negative 0, right? So if you plug in 0 over here, so this is 0 and this is 0, so it's nothing, so it's 0. So you don't need to write it, honestly. So so the answer is simply 8 over 27 plus 16 over 21, which is 200 over 189. Okay, so that was it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and please do the subscribe, and also you don't need to go watch the video again and write the notes. I've already provided the notes in the description below. So thanks for watching. Bye.